Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Jay Hollingshed, and I am back once again. This is episode 99 of 365 of my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. Thank you so much for attending and watching, and we're almost at that century mark. So thank you so much for motivating me to get to that point. Also, like I said, this is my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. Today is Sunday, day one of the week, in which we describe or discuss pillar number one, and that is awareness and mindfulness. Awareness and mindfulness. Before we get into awareness and mindfulness, let me get my thank yous out the way. We got to pay our credits. So, thank you for everybody that's tuning in now. Like my guy Keith Bodie, I see you watching. I appreciate you. Also, everybody else, that's my brother. He's already tuned in. I appreciate you, AJ. I love you, man. And for those that want to watch this video in its entirety, feel free to use my YouTube channel. Tune into my YouTube channel. All of my episodes between 1 and 98 are already backlogged on there. So feel free to go there, like, share, tag. Feel free to bless someone else with the video if you see that being a blessing to them. Now, let's go right into it. Awareness and mindfulness. I did some more research in mindfulness.org, or I'm sorry, mindful.org. That's a subsidiary of the magazine that I subscribe to called Mindful. So, mindful.org. And as I stated in my earlier broadcast, I'm going to cover 7 things mindful people do differently. Here we go. The first thing, they approach everyday things with curiosity and savor them. They approach everyday things with curiosity and savor them. Now, the first one, to be curious, that's to be eager to know or eager to learn something. So in that sense, we want to stop being satisfied with the face value of things. When we see something, oh, okay, that's what it is. Well, don't just stop at what it is. Mindful people look at it, they see what it is. They want to know the how, the what, the when, the where, and the why. They want to understand everything about this everyday thing that they're dealing with. So they go into a deeper meaning. They want to understand its purpose. 3 things they look at when they do that. They want to see the value in everyday things. They want to learn the lesson in everyday things. And also they want to embrace the beauty in the everyday things that they see. That's one thing that mindful people do every day that other people don't do. Damon Weary, I appreciate you. Lieutenant Damon Weary, my man. I appreciate you for watching. Now, number 2, the second thing that mindful people do that other people's don't, they forgive their mistakes, whether they're big or small. They forgive their mistakes. Now, to forgive is to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone's for an offense, someone for a flaw or for a mistake. And so, when it comes to forgiveness, this definition says stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone. Here's the thing. It's not just about someone else. When it comes to forgiveness, you have to forgive yourself. That's how you get to move on. Forgiving yourself takes a weight off your shoulders, a burden off your chest, and a load off your mind. So, not just feeling angry towards someone else, but yourself, because you can get mad at yourself and hold a grudge and start devaluing yourself when you don't forgive yourself. Holding grudges, all that does is build up stress and puts more pressure on your body and your bodily systems. My man Frank, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you, Frank. Holding grudges builds up stress in your body. We talked about stress on Friday, so we know what that does. We don't want to build up stress and unnecessary pressure because that keeps us from progressing and moving on in a positive manner. Also, it's been said that forgiveness doesn't let them off the hook. It gets you off the nail. Now, if you've never heard that before, let me explain that to you. Forgiveness doesn't let them off the hook, but it gets you off the nail. It doesn't let them off the hook. It doesn't release them at all. The forgiveness is for you. When you forgive somebody, it's getting you off the nail. You are actually detaching from that experience and moving on, allowing that experience to exist without you. You move on with it and you keep going. So that's the way that one works. You don't have that emotional weight or emotional baggage to carry with you. Now, number three, the third thing that mindful people do that others don't do, they show gratitude for good moments and grace for bad moments. Gratitude for good moments and grace for bad moments. Gratitude is the quality of being thankful and the readiness to show appreciation and to return the kindness. Now, in this context, grace refers to being courteous, goodwill, politeness, respectful. Grace has many definitions, but this is the one we want to use for this context. And actually, positive psychology contends that gratitude is more than feeling thankful for something. It is like a deeper appreciation for someone or something, which produces a longer lasting positivity. So, here's an example. When someone does something for you and you say, thank you, that's a programmed, typical response. Now, if you give a well thought out thank you, like, man, this is great. This is really what I needed. I mean, it will get the job done and do exactly what I needed to do and make me feel much better. I truly appreciate this. Now, that would make someone else feel much better than just saying thanks. That's the example for gratitude that positive psychology says it leaves someone feeling better. It leaves them in a better state. So mindful people express gratitude when other people don't do that. Number four, practicing compassion and nurturing connections. That's very important. Now, compassion is sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings of others' misfortunes. So, if someone is less fortunate than you, or if someone's down on the luck, or they're having a hard time, they're not getting along in life as well as you think they should, or as well as they could be doing, expressing compassion is what mindful people do. They reach out to them, they want to help them, and they show concern for that person. That's just being a good neighbor. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Showing love to someone else. That's what that is. I got more people tuning in. Frederick Shatting, James Johnson, Robert Streeter. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Now, the nurture aspect of this is the process. Nurturing is the process of caring and encouraging the growth and development for someone or something. So that piggybacks right off of compassion. So when you nurture the growth and development of something, it's kind of like having a pet or a plant or a child. You want to watch them grow. You pour into them for their learning and their development so that they can progress and have a brighter future. That's what nurturing is. And that's what mindful people do all day, every day. Now, number 5 of 7. Mindful people make peace with imperfections. That's on the inside and the out. Now, I believe that God doesn't make mistakes. God made each and every one of us according to our purpose in life here on earth. Now, when we see what we call an imperfection in someone else, why do we call that an imperfection? Is that something that society has placed on us, or is that something that society has programmed in our minds because they're not the perfect person? Their nose is too big, they're overweight, or they're too tall, too skinny, or whatever it could be. You know, they are not perfect according to society's standards, but they are perfect for their purpose here on earth. They are perfect for who they are supposed to be and what they are supposed to be. So mindful people make peace with imperfections inside and out. They are happy with who they are and why they are that way. They ain't worried about nobody else and what anybody else thinks, because what anybody else thinks is not going to get you from point A to point B. That's just their opinion. They're entitled to it, so what? Their opinion doesn't do anything for you at all. It doesn't nurture you. It doesn't show compassion for you or any other of the other 5 things that I already covered. So, mindful people make peace with imperfections inside and out. Let's go to number 6 of 7. They embrace vulnerability by trusting others and themselves. Vulnerability, that's a key word. Now, that's the quality or state of being exposed with the possibility of being attacked, harmed, or harmed physically or emotionally. In this state, we're talking about vulnerability You're exposing yourself with the possibility of being harmed emotionally. You show who you are. Hey, Lieutenant Candace, I see you watching. I see you tuning in. I appreciate you, Candace. Thank you so much. Vulnerability. Now, that's a thing that I had to deal with. As I wrote in my second book, I was expressing about how I went through grad school. I'm sorry, that's going to be in my third book. It's not in my second book. Anyway, my grad school story, how I literally got kicked out of my doctoral program twice. Kicked out of my doctoral program twice, once in 2017 and then again in 2018. And sharing that story was a vulnerable moment for me. But at the same time, I knew someone could tease me and ridicule me about that, but I learned a valuable lesson from that because by me doing that, I wanted to do more. I wanted to know more of why I wasn't able to continue at that time. It was because I found out that I had ADHD or reading disorder, and those things combined were slowing me down in my doctoral studies. But since then, there have been some changes, and of course, I'm going to go back and grab that doctorate that's still waiting for me to get it. So that moment of vulnerability was tough for me. It was a tough pill to swallow, but at the same time, by doing that, it's my truth. And I expressed my truth, and your truth will set you free. When they say your truth will set you free, it releases a weight off of you. That's that emotional baggage that you give up and let go. You don't have to worry about it. Somebody else talking, nobody's going to talk bad to me about that because they know how I feel about that already. They know that I don't care whether they talk bad to me about it or not. And if their intentions were to push my buttons, there are no buttons to push. I exposed the buttons and gave them away. I'm moving on with my life. Elizabeth Fletcher, thank you for tuning in. I see you watching. God bless you. Now, number seven, the seventh thing that mindful people do that other people don't. They accept and appreciate things that come and go. They accept and appreciate life. They realize that life comes in a flow. It flows. Have you ever heard the terms and it shall come to pass, or it came to pass? That's how life goes. That's what life does. Our circumstances and situations in life, they come and they go. They come and they go. It's like a conveyor belt. You put something on a conveyor belt, it's going to come, and if it's right in front of you, you're going to watch it. It's going to come. It stops in front of you and it goes. The only way it stays with you is that if you literally take it and possess it as yours, then it's your circumstance to hold on to until you finally get rid of it or learn from it or pull the lesson out of it. But life is going to come and it's going to go. And mindful people understand that because nothing lasts forever. Your dark days or your bad days, think about it. It's called a bad day for a reason. It's only going to last for a day. That's all. Joy comes in the morning. You're going to have a better time after that. After you go through hell, or let's just say if you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop. Keep going because that's a flow. There's something better on the other side for you. So in summary of all of this, to sum this article up, mindful people treat others and themselves much better than regular people. Hey, what's up, AJ? I appreciate you for tuning in. Mindful people treat other people and themselves better, and they realize that it's not about them. It's not about them. When it's pertaining to them, it's because you forgive yourself. You want to know better or do better for yourself. You are in a state of progression. It's not about a state of being in an arrogant state or a state of showing off saying, I got this, or I am this, or I am that. When you relate to yourself from a state of humility. That's what mindful people do when they're in a state of being aware. Now, when they relate to others, it's about showing compassion for others, having a nurturing spirit for others. That's what mindfulness does. So that's all that I have for today on my 7 pillars of mental performance in 365 days. This is episode 99 of 365. And this was awareness and mindfulness, 7 things mindful people do differently. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Be well. Stay blessed. And through love, be a blessing. I kind of said that backwards, but that's okay. God bless.